Toxic relationships in a person's life. Toxic relationships can hurt more than your feelings. They can affect your mental state and health. Because abusive relationships are built on psychological and physical damage to the vulnerable partner. Relationships are complex. Most of the time, they can be something good or important. You may have a friend who you trust after a long day at work, or a family member who provides support and a new perspective, or a partner with whom you can face the future, according to the American Forbes magazine. But harmful relationships also exist and may even affect your health. People get into stay in toxic relationships for a range of reasons, and romantic relationships that have become or will become toxic are often linked to a psychological process called idealization. Idealization, or the idea of an ideal partner, according to Linda Weinberger, professor of psychiatry and behavioral sciences at Kick Medicine at the University of Southern California, is embodied in unconscious or semi-conscious desires that have been influenced by cultural and biological forces. The negative effects of toxic relationships. A toxic relationship can negatively affect your mental health. It can make you feel insecure or bad about yourself, leave you tired and unhappy, pressure you to change something about yourself, or lead to physical and emotional harm. According to more than 500 doctors from Kick Medicine at the University of Southern California. They can also affect your health physically. One study found that being in a toxic relationship puts people at greater risk of heart problems. In another study, researchers found that women who had high levels of conflict in their relationships tended to have higher blood sugar levels, higher blood pressure, and higher rates of obesity. Research has found that hostile and violent relationships can even slow wound healing. Serious conflicts keep the body on alert all the time, which stimulates the production of adrenaline and quickly get rid of the excess. This leads to fatigue and weakened immune system and even organ damage. The good news is that there is an obvious solution, and it's something that is worth considering seriously. If it is for your own health, you can either fix the relationship if the other person is willing, or end it altogether, because one thing is clear: a bad relationship is not worth the price it can exact: your health. Although we know the effects of toxic relationships and their negative effects on our mental and physical health, we have all been involved in at least one of them and found it difficult to overcome them. But why? According to psychology, entering and staying in a toxic relationship has 3 possible causes. The first reason is that we suppress our thoughts and emotions towards ourselves because we think we need this person, or that we should be with them despite all the negatives. This may be because of the children, or because we assume that we don't deserve better than that. As for the second reason, it may be our thinking about our unwanted qualities and habits that we must work to improve. We may be afraid of being alone if the relationship ends, or we may be manipulated by our partner. If we have a strong sense of guilt and our partner knows that he can easily trick us into thinking we have done something wrong. The third possible reason we stay in toxic relationships is that we all have some unresolved issues from our childhood. So we may be unconsciously repeating some unhealthy patterns instead of dealing with them. Some people get into toxic relationships because they want to find someone who isn't their parent or their brother or ex-partner, and so they move from one unhealthy relationship to another unhealthy relationship, believing that it is their right choice. Treating a toxic relationship. It is always possible to get out of a toxic relationship and move on to a healthy, positive relationship. Here are some tips for detoxing. 1. Self-care. Finding time to take care of yourself and learning to take care of yourself again is a critical step in recovery and rebalancing your priorities. 2. Reconnect. Reconnecting with friends, family, and people who love and care for you helps promote your emotional recovery from toxic relationships and their negative effects on you. 3. Talking with the partner. Discussing with the partner may help improve his behavior towards you, which reflects positively on the relationship. But this may be difficult for some people or may increase negative behaviors as a reaction to it. 4. Treatment. Medical counseling and treatment are essential to understanding the dynamics of a toxic partner's destructive relationship. Therapy also helps build self-confidence and self-esteem, which is essential before entering a new relationship. When a relationship causes you a lot of psychological and health problems and pressures, you have to ask yourself, where do these permanent problems come from? Do you really want to be with this person? Is your staying with him because of his positive qualities, or is it better than being alone? It is possible for a partner to make promising change and rebuild the relationship. Yet, he or she must be willing to put in the work to make this change and learn new ways to communicate and interact as a supportive, healthy partner.